Well, it's time to clean the wheel bearings, and I will tell you that of all the jobs working on a car, this is probably my least favorite of all of them. I think it's because it doesn't seem like you accomplish much when you do it, but it's also a job that I don't trust anybody else to do. When we were taking the wheels apart, they had installed the wrong cotter pins, number one. Number two, the right wheel looked like it was done correctly. The driver's side, left front, was not done correctly. So I'll show you how I clean them, and probably more important, how I repack them. But they need to be so clean that the bearings rattle when you shake them. So let me show you what I've got down here. Cleaning solvent and my brush and my air hose. So we're going to start out by cleaning these bearings, cleaning them. There we go. There's a clean bearing. Well, we've got the parts all cleaned. And now we're about to put them together. I'm going to show you how to do this, because this is probably, other than the cleaning, this is probably the second, maybe the first real critical thing. All right. First of all, I've inspected the hub race. That's the piece inside here. And it looks really good, the inside and the outside. Usually if a bearing's bad, it'll be scored up and you can kind of tell. Or you can look at the bearings themselves, but the bearings look really good. I've been repacking wheel bearings this way since about in the mid 60s. And it's the only way I think that they should be done. Now there's a lot of little machines that you can buy that do a good job too. I'm gonna take a bunch of grease. I'm going to pour it in my palm like this. I'm going to take the bearing, okay, and I'm going to take it down here. I'm going to grab just a little, oh, look who's coming to help us. This is Little Gray. She's my shop cat. Okay, bearing, grease, we're going to grab a little bit, see? I'm going to grab some more. I'm not going to move the bearing. I'm just going to keep grabbing a little bit at a time. The grease is starting to come out the other side from where I'm pushing it in. And that's what it should look like when it's done. Now we're going to take some of this grease I've got and we're going to go in the hub. So I cover everything with grease, and we'll probably put a little more in there after a while. Now we're going to take, I did find some new wheel bearing seals. And that's what the seal looks like, okay? I'm gonna pack the inside of this seal with grease. I'm gonna set it on top of here. Just like so. I have a seal driver that I made. Just a big steel plate. I'm gonna put that thing on top of here. Now we've got the inner bearing with this correct seal installed. This is ready to go on. We have to do the outer bearing. Okay, we're about ready to put the hub on. I've got the hub down here where we put the seal and the bearing in, and it's all greased. I've already cleaned this off and put a light layer of grease on this whole thing, okay? So now we're going to slide this on. Our outer bearing, washer, and nut. Now, another critical part. How tight do we get this thing? Well, I got my own way of doing it. I think pretty much it's the correct way, but these are roller bearings and they do not like to be preloaded. In other words, they should be real free. but you have to make sure they're seated. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to tighten this nut as I turn the hub. Probably about 40 to 50 foot-pounds of torque on this hub right now. Okay, now I'm going to back this nut off till it's totally loose. So I can real easily just turn it to here and put this in there. And you notice we do have the right size. And that's it. This one's done. Okay, I've got a hammer and a blunt chisel, and we're going to put this cap on. Last thing we got to do is we got to put the brake drum on. And I've checked this brake drum, and I think as you can see, if you look in there, it really looks good. So I would guess somebody probably turned these drums less than 1,000 or maybe 2,000 miles ago, turned them, okay? Now this is a tool that I've got. It helps you to get the brakes set up. It's like a caliper on this side, an outside caliper and an inside caliper. And what you do is you take this and you set it in the brake drum. I've already kind of done this already. And you get it to fit nice and snug in there. And you adjust it, okay? So it's reading the inside dimension of this drum. Now there's a difference between this reading and this reading. But with this set up, it gives you a starting place, okay? So this is already set and locked. Now we're going to take it and we're going to go over the shoes right here. And I don't know if you can see, but it fits kind of snug. That's telling you that there's a 1/16 of an inch difference between these shoes and that drum. That means that drum will go on there. Well, now our drum should fit on here. Let's see. Like a glove. Now, if you can remember that, we're going to do the same thing on the other side.